Cool. All
Nisi,
right. Cool.
I remember when I first got into the real estate game, I was like, man, if I can just, close that first deal, either I do it myself or I JV
Mm-hmm.
with other people, I
Yeah.
would be excited. And you're here making $4,000 on a JV deal that costs you none of your own money.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
So I
Yeah.
love it. So Nisi, just let me know when you're ready, and I'm gonna do a quick intro. Okay?
Okay. You
What up?
can
What up,
actually.
fam?
Yes.
What
Hello.
up, fam?
Hello.
So I'm gonna bring Nisi on. She's from Dayton, Ohio. She just closed her first deal. It's actually a JV deal. For those of you
Mm-hmm.
who don't know what JV is, she's gonna explain it to you guys exactly what JV is. And I think it's a great way for a lot of you that are starting out that can't get your first deal. It's nice if you leverage other people's resource, other people's connections, and just JV deal with other wholesaler that already have a property under contract. So if you
Yeah.
enjoy this episode, if this adds some value to you, please show my guest and your boy King Kong some love. Boom! Smash that thumbs up. Also, too, if you're new to the channel, please don't be shy. Boom! Smash that subscribe button. Any question you got, drop it down below, and I'm sure that we'll answer it. And also, too, if you recently closed your first deal, and if you want to jump on an interview with me, please email me at WTMfam@gmail.com. So help me welcome Nisi. What up?
Hey, hey, King Kong. I'm so excited to be a part of your podcast. I really am, man. This
Oh,
is just one of those things that, like, you have a dream in your heart and
yep.
you really have some great goals for your life and you aspire to really live a life of freedom. Like they say, 90% of millionaires came through real estate,
Yep.
And so when I started listening to you, I felt your energy, like you're just on it. And one of the things that I really love is that you're fun, you're energized. But
Oh,
then when it comes to you really like letting people know and not holding nothing back, you're there. You're up in their face. Like if you don't work it, it's not gonna work. So don't think that it's gonna happen overnight. Don't think it's gonna happen without you putting in effort. So I love that. I love your energy. Come on, man.
shit. Nisi, let's what? Let's what?
Yeah, let's go get this morning.
Hey! Nisi, first
Yes.
off, I want to say, hey, thank you so much for the kind word. I love you. I love your energy already. And the
I
thing,
appreciate that.
I'm so excited, man. It's just that, when I started creating content, listening to Gary Vee 5 years ago,
Mhm.
I was able to escape the
Yeah.
rat race, go ahead and
Mhm.
build my own financial freedom. And I'm just excited just to share back and just to give back and help the people that, trying to escape the 9 to 5, trying to escape the rat race like I was. So when I get on there, I'm so pumped and, just able to inspire and motivate, other people to get out, go out there, you know, go get their own, go catch their goals, go catch their
Mhm.
dreams, stop sleeping on it like a little bitch, and just
Mhm.
go and do it.
That, yep,
Nisi,
that's what it's
I love
about.
your necklace. I love your earrings. I
Thank
love the energy
you.
already.
I'm
But
a fashionista, as they say. But hey,
no, it looks
but hey,
amazing. Love it.
thank you. But King, I heard Gary Vee. It's probably back, maybe I want to say 2017. I went to an event. I used to live in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And he and some other people I can't even name, it's not coming to my mind, but they were at this conference. And so, yeah, I love listening to Gary Vee. That's definitely another one of my favorite people to listen to.
Love it,
Yeah.
love it, love it. Nisi, for those of you, just to share a little bit about your background, kind of where you were, how you got started, where you in, how do you end up here, and then we're gonna talk about your first JV deal.
All right, all right. So for me, Khang, actually started out in my 20s, long, long time ago. I started out in my 20s because Carlton Sheets was
So that's 5 years ago.
huh?
So
What
that's
you?
5 years ago.
Oh, bless you. I love you. I love you.
You look amazing.
Thank you. So Carlton Sheets, he had this infomercial on late night, and me and my ex-husband now we were watching it, and we were like trying to get on this path of making money and just having that freedom lifestyle like Carlton Sheets was talking about. So we ordered the tape, the CDs, we listened to them, and then I was just really intrigued, and so I got books from the library about real estate. I was just doing it. So somebody told me about go to a sheriff auction. So kind of, I went to this sheriff auction. I was excited, and they, make your bid, and I made my bid for this one house, and this one house was like, I want to say $14,000. And so I won the bid. I was so excited. And so they said, well, okay, you got to put up $1,400. I put up my $1,400, and I was just like ready to go. But I didn't realize that if you couldn't come up with the rest of the money, that you wouldn't get your $1,400 back. And so at that point in my life, me and my husband, we were struggling. He didn't have a good job. I really didn't have a good job, and our credit was not good. And so I couldn't get the credit for $14,000. I could not get a bank to loan me $14,000. That's pretty terrible. But anyway, so I couldn't get the house at that point, and they kept my money. And so I got discouraged. And in my 20s, I would get discouraged pretty easily. I mean, I would have these ambitious desires, but if something would happen or something would fall apart, I would just kind of be like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to do that. And so anyway, exactly. Yeah. Especially when you're younger, you don't realize you have to push through all of the discouragements. So a few years down the road, I still had this real estate bug. I still like, I gotta do this. I want to do this. So I'm looking at the I don't know if Zillow was back then anyway. It was probably like in 1990s or whatever. So I was looking at homes, and they said, oh, there's a good property. It's cash flowing. It has tenants in it, and it doesn't cost that much. You can get this property right now. And I said, oh, okay, let me get it. So I went on. I got this property. But they didn't tell me. Here's another thing, another caveat. They didn't tell me that the tenants were terrible. The tenants would not pay their rent. And it was in a bad location. I was still green. I had no idea like this house is in a terrible location and the tenants won't pay. So I got this house. I was like, you owe me money. And they were like, okay, we're going to pay you. And they never would pay me. So I kept on going till I had to evict them. Next person wouldn't pay me. I had to evict them. I was in eviction court several times. So I ended up getting this idea that, okay, well, I'm not going to be defeated on this. I'm a social worker by education background. So I've been a social worker, licensed social worker, and I knew about group homes, mental health group homes. I said, I'm going to start my own group home in this duplex. It was a duplex. So I had one of my workers to like tear out the wall and just make it a whole big house. So I had 10 people in my group home. That was going really good for a few years. I learned a lot about business and running a business and having 24-hour help, and doctors and nurses was coming in, and social workers was coming in, working with my mental health clients. And that went on for good for a few years, but then I ended up having some mishaps, and then I had to dissolve that business. And so I kind of like was living my life. I was like, okay, other things was going on in my life. I put real estate on the back burner once again. But I would say probably about 3 years ago now, I said, I want to get back into real estate. So by this time I'm listening to YouTube. YouTube is, on and popping at this time. So I'm like, okay, I need to do something with real estate. And so that's how I found out about wholesaling, Chris Crone, Noel Randall. Then I was listening to your podcast. You had so many people on showing examples, Brent Daniels, Max Maxwell, Jerry Norton, all of y'all was feeding me this encouragement that said, you can do it too. And so I was hyped up. I was like so hyped up. So that was kind of like the beginning of me in wholesaling, but real estate started way back when I was in my 20s. Yes.
Woo! I think, Anisi, I think a lot of us can completely relate to your stories. When we're in our 20s, we come across roadblocks and things like that. We haven't built the characters. We haven't built the discipline that we needed, right?
Right.
Yep. And the thing is, that's why they said you can't not have a 9-to-5 mindset and become a millionaire. It's not the $1 million. It's who you become to actually acquire that $1 million. Because that person, and when you lose the $1 million, you can actually make it again and again and again. Woo!
Yeah.
I love the stories and I love the energy.
Yes, thank you. Mindset.
Yep.
Mindset is definitely so important. That's for anything that you're trying
Yep.
to achieve in your life. Is if it's something that's not going to just happen overnight, anybody can, do something small that may happen within a week or 2 weeks or whatever. But when you have a lofty goal or a lofty
Mhm.
dream or a big purpose, audacious, as they say, is
Yep.
something big. It has to be your mindset, have to be so focused and believing that it's possible. And then, I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to utilize courage, because courage is being able to go past the point of just being excited, because everybody can be excited
Woo.
in the beginning. I got money in the bank. Shorty, what you think? Everything is going well in the beginning. Yes. But what are you going to do when you run into roadblocks and
Mm,
challenges? What are you going to do when you run into people that don't believe in you and don't people
mm.
that may not support you? You still got to believe in yourself and put yourself in the atmosphere of other people who believe and have the same kind of vision that you have. So yeah,
Woo.
yeah, yeah.
Listen, hallelujah. Woo. Amen. Dropping bomb left and right. I don't even know where to dodge. But Nisi, let's talk about let's talk about this first JV deal that cost you
Yes,
no money out of pocket. Walk us
yes.
through it. How did you got it done?
So I was actually working with my partner. Shout out to Anthony, working with my partner Anthony, and we had the company is Pride Development, and we in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we had people that came through that had a desire to sell their home. And so I'm reaching out to these different people. And so there was this one lady, and actually her husband had passed away. And so she wanted to get rid of this property. And so I went through the 4 pillars, right? Condition, timeline, uh, pain point, and price. And so I'm talking with her, and at first she's kind of like rough around the edges. She's just straightforward kind of, personality, and you have to, kind of like move with certain people's personality. I'm a, kind of like a calm, like easygoing personality, but then other people have different personalities, and so you have to move with that. And so she was like, going talking kind of like real fast, like get to the point, get to the point. And I'm just like, okay. And so finally we were able to get an appointment, because my partner Anthony, he goes out to the homes that are there in Indiana. And so he went out, he talked with the lady, and actually her son had to be involved, because she said, well, I'm not doing anything without my son, because, she's older and she don't know, what it could be a scam or whatever. And so we talked with her son and had built a good rapport with him, had a good relationship. And so they were all comfortable. And so went out, and we end up calling her back. I called her back, I guess, like the next day, and I said, well, what is your, price that you want out of it? I want to say, and I might not have it totally correct, but I believe that she said around 10,000 or so. And I said, well, like our happy point, because it needed a lot of work. I believe it was like a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and it needed a lot of work. And it was kind of in a not too good of an area, but the rents in that area are pretty good. So she said, so I counted her with like 7,000, I believe, 7,000. And so she's like, no, that property, the lot, that property is worth more than that. And I'm not gonna budge from that. And so we end up going on and locking it up at the 10,000 that she wanted. At that point, I remember that one video that you have out, how you try to work with them and talk them down. And I've gotten better with it, because I'll say, other than the price, is there any other reason that you're trying to, get rid of your property? And then I let her know that we buy it in as is condition, and then we also pay all the closing costs. And so with that being said, are you willing to come down? And she still was at the 10,000. So anyway, went on and locked it up at that price. Now, Khang, I I believe I tried Facebook place before, but with her property, when I put it on Facebook, I tried different vehicles. Facebook Market. I have some few cash buyers I already have in my phone, and also what else? Craigslist. So, but Facebook Marketplace, put it on there. I was hit so many times with people messaging me about this property. So we were like, this is good. This is hot. This is hot. And so we put it out. I think we put it out at, I want to say 19,000 or 19,000, something like that. Yeah, 19,000. We put it out for 19, and was it 20? Yeah. Anyway, so 19,000, and then we ended up putting it on Messenger, getting all these hits on it. So we decided we're going to have an open house that Saturday. That Saturday, we had quite a few people that showed up because a lot of people was calling me. So when I reached out to them on Facebook Messenger, when they reached out to me, I said, I'm trying to vet them. And so I said, well, give me a call. I said, are you a cash buyer? And because a lot of people were like, just trying to ask different questions. I said, are you a cash buyer? And so some people were like, well, I want to just put it on land contract, or I would just want to rent it out. I want to, rent to lease or whatever. And I said, well, we can only take cash offers. And so anyway, when I finally got to the serious cash buyers, I was talking on the phone to these different people. I had this one man, I think he worked through like New Western, and he was really interested in buying it. And I had some other people that was interested, and I got their criteria to put them on our cash buyers list. But then there was this one man, and he said, I want this to be our forever home. He said, it's me and my wife and my two sons, and we really want a house to live in. We want to be able to fix this house up, and we were really excited. And he just kept on like talking to me. He would call me and text me. He was really showing a lot of interest in the home. And so finally, when everybody came on that Saturday to meet, there was, I'll tell you this also, there was a Spanish speaking family. And so I don't know how to speak Spanish, but their daughter, she, knew how to speak English. And so me and her was talking, and then she would relay everything that I would say. She would relay it back to her parents. And she was like, well, my parents, they really want to get this house. And so we're going to come to your open house. So they came, everybody showed up, everybody looked at the house. And so a few hours later, after everybody had looked at the house, people start calling me. I want to make this big, I want to make this big. And I said, okay, we have a lot of people on the table, so we're going to go with the best and highest offer. So it came down to the man that said this, we want this to be our forever home. And we was just like, okay, well, we have other people making offers. But anyway, long story short, him and his family came up with the highest one. Because they really wanted this house. We told them the earnest money, I believe it was, I want to say the deposit was $2,500. So they got that in. We were talking back and forth with our title closing company, Hocker Title, talking back and forth with them. He got everything in on time. And then a few days later, it didn't take that long. It was, I think everything started on that Tuesday where he got his earnest money in. And that Friday, we closed on it. We closed on that Friday. And so it was, in talking with the owner, making sure we stayed in touch with the owner, and then talking with the buyer, making sure everything was flowing. So yes, that's the gist of how everything went down. Yes.
Love it. Now, Nisi, so your partner Anthony is the one that got the property and the contract. You're the one that found the buyer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. So yes, the wholesale deal was $8,000, and you guys split 50-50. So you get the 4K, the 4,000.
Yes, sir.
No money needed.
Right, exactly. No money out of our pocket. It wasn't like the owner was asking for us to put down any earnest money or anything, because I don't bring it up if they don't bring it up. And so we were good on that one. Now I would say this, Khang, I was like, I've gotten this far, and now there's another glitch. So we got, got the closing done and everything. And my partner, Anthony, he lives there. And so he was able just to go pick up his check. But I had to have them to wire it to my bank because I live probably like an hour and a half away. And so I gave them all of my information, put it in my business name. My business name is Envision Your Success, LLC. Put it in my business name. Thank you. And it didn't get there. And so I was like, oh, I'm calling them like, what's going on? You guys said this. Right. Where's my money? You guys said you put it in my account. And so the lady, they were cool. And so she was like, well, yeah, like, everything we have your, was it the IMAD number? She gave me the IMAD number, found out, I guess that was like to say we did put it in your account. And so anyway, I'm calling my bank. So my bank is like, well, no, we don't have anything. So then the next day I'm like, so this is because that was Friday when it happened. And then so on Monday, I'm calling again, like, we don't have anything. So then I think on Tuesday, the lady said, well, yeah, it's processing, and it should be in there by this evening. That evening came, still nothing. I'm like, what's up? So Wednesday, I'm like, wow, the lady said it was processing. It's supposed to be on my account. Now this man is telling me, well, we don't see anything in your account. And I'm like, here's another, Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law, if anything can go wrong. So I'm saying I worked so hard to finally get a deal to go through. And now, I can't even get my money. Yeah. So anyway, so I said, well, I need to speak with the supervisor. Because, like, this is not cool. So I called the title company back, Hocker Title Company back, called them, and they said, well, we've talked to our people, and they said they assured us that everything has went through. So supervisor finally calls me, and so she's like, well, okay, we need to ask you, like, where did you get this money from? And, well, I said, well, it came from I think she was kind of like, I guess they had to go through questions or whatever. Cause she said, well, yeah, we're finally we were able to see that this money was, had came from them. But like, how did, or why did you get this money or whatever? And so I was like, well, Hacker Title sent it to me because we sold a home. And then she was like, well, who was this guy named Anthony or something? It was just like, she was just asking me all these questions. And I was like, well, why? I said, like, why is that? She said, well, we have to kind of like know it's from the government or something. And so anyway, they finally got it into my account. And so that was a big ordeal because I was like, okay, really? I did all this work, like, yeah.
You'd be like, hey, I gotta get my money, man. I gotta get my money.
Right. Don't be playing with my money. Don't play.
Don't be playing with my money, man. See the whole banking. So for those of you watching this, I want you guys to understand. So every single bank has a cutoff time. So the cutoff time for the wire, depending on bank, typically between I think it's 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock is the cutoff time. The cutoff time means that if the title company was able to close the deal early, which is before 1 o'clock, right? And they're able to initiate, if they're able to send the wire out, typically you should receive your wire the same day by closing, which is by 5 p.m. before the bank closed. All right. Typically, that's how it works. If you don't see it, if they send it out early and you don't see it by the end of the day, there's something wrong. You got to call the bank, got to call the title beat, just like Nishi just did. Now, if they send it out after 1 o'clock, right, after the cutoff time, then you would get your wire, right, the next day. It should not take this long. For those of you who's new, right, hopefully this will help.
This is on my end.
Yep. You can also, what it is you can also ask them to send you. They typically overnight it to you, right? A cashier check.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's just like cash. They'll overnight it to you. You get the next day, and you can go deposit. I like to get cash, but sometimes the attorney that I'm working with right now, he doesn't like. He kind of the one man show, and he has an assistant. He doesn't like to send the cashier check, so typically he does wire. But anyways, want to let you guys know that. So in case those of you who runs through the same issue, but it's really weird that it must be the first time so the bank has
right. They wasn't familiar with that. Yeah. So yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, Nishi, what are some tips, feedback, advice you can give to those that are just starting out, that are new into the game? They've been grinding, doing their thing, and still haven't got their first deal, and they're excited to
Mhm.
see you on here, sharing your stories, and they're like, "Man, I'm excited to get my first deal as well." So, what are some tip advice that you can give to them?
Well, first of all, I would say just really just saturate your mindset with watching the podcast with King Kong, to everyone that has a show about wholesaling, because you're going to learn so much, and then you're going to see other people being able to do this, and so it's going to really be able to help you to know, like, if they can, I can too. There's no respect of persons. If you just is willing to put in the work. And then definitely, like, the mindset, like we were saying in the beginning, like that is one of the most important things, because if you don't have the correct mindset, if you're not allowing yourself to be in an arena with other people that are doing it, if you don't have your support system in place, if you're not having the daily, just rituals of affirming yourself and believing that this is possible, it's easy to give up. Now, I've heard, you've probably had some people on your show that maybe they got their deal within 2 weeks or 30 days. And I'm like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? And so a person that took as long as myself, or, maybe someone else, they could get really discouraged and give up. And a lot of times when you have a lot of time that has went by, that's how a lot of people give up. Any kind of level of trying to reach a success, you give up if it doesn't happen in a certain amount of time. And so I would listen to people that it seemed like it took a while. And this is not just with wholesaling or real estate. This is just in general. Some of my great mentors for my success speaking business that I have, it's been Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, TD Jakes, and be listening to them tell about their stories of how they struggled in the beginning. And it didn't happen for them, but they kept believing and they kept going. And that's how they were able to achieve the level of success that they have today. And so I would listen to that, because I say, okay, I can't just think about just me and feeling sorry for myself. If it happened for them and I want success, I want to live a life of purpose. If they can do it, then, I can do it. And so I would do that, and that would give me support and encouragement. So I would say, just do those things and be willing to learn. I think, Khang, also, me being consistent and persistent, it has opened up a lot of me networking with so many different people. And so by me networking with so many different people, I've gotten a lot of different, I guess a lot of different things that has opened up doors for me, because I was consistent with talking with people, networking. So I'm a part of the Central Ohio, what is it called? Central Ohio Real Estate Entrepreneurs. So yeah, it's in Columbus, because that's where I used to live at. So really, that's a group of people that are so helpful. So many of those members, they have a plethora of knowledge. And then Austin Rutherford, Elevate Real Estate in Columbus. So just pouring myself around those kind of people. Austin Rutherford, he's big as far as just really helping people there in Columbus. And then him and his wife, I believe, lives in Florida. But he's a really, also a person that, I just like listen to and see all of the different examples that he had. And so, yeah, that's what I would kind of like just say. Just keep on, pushing, keep on believing. It's definitely possible. Somebody said this, and I believe it was on Brent Daniels' podcast, that he said, what did he say? He said, you can't quit when you've been called to win. Woo! That just got me in my soul, man. You can't quit when you've been called to win. And sometimes it can seem like it's not happening in the time that you want it to happen in, but you know that you've been called. You know that you showed up in this world to do something more than just average. And so you can't quit. You just got to keep on pressing through. You got to keep on believing. You got to keep on knowing that it's possible. Like God didn't give you this idea if it wasn't possible. And he didn't give you the idea if you didn't have the ability and the capability of bringing it about. And so you can't go by, it hasn't happened yet, so I'm going to give up. It hasn't happened yet, so it must not be so. It must not be meant for me. You just got to believe it, that it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Woo!
Yeah,
Nisi,
yeah, it's coming.
dropping bombs everywhere. So, I mean, Nisi, I like to add to that is that you cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10.
Come on, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yes.
And the thing is, every single time that you decided you want to throw in the towel, that you want to quit, I want you to understand this one thing, that you're not just quitting on yourself and on your dreams and on your goals, but you're quitting on every single people that depend on you to succeed because they quit on their dreams and their goal. Your mommy, your daddy, your husband, your wife, your kids. You need to keep pushing to make your dream become a reality so you can provide them the life that they deserve and provide yourself with the life that you deserve.
So true. So true. That's so powerful, Khang. That everybody's not going to have the same vision as you. And so you may, and this is, personal for me, you may have certain family members that don't see it. They don't have the vision, or maybe they gave up because they tried before in their past or whatever. They just don't believe it, or they're just about that average life. And so you can't go by other people and what they see or what they think. Like your opinion, it doesn't mean anything to me when it comes down to what I need to do for my life. And so other people may not support you. Other people may not believe in you, but you gotta believe in you, and you gotta put yourself in the atmosphere of other people that believe in you also.
Woo! Yeah, let's go. So the thing is, Nisi, a lot of people are afraid that they're going on this journey. And listen to me, man. When that dreams is pent inside of you, remember, eagle fly alone because they fly such at a high level, elevate, dude. Like all the other birds, all the birds do not fly with them. So are you, or you're just a regular bird? You got to understand, like that's you lose some one, right? You have to let go of the old one, the broken. All right, the mediocre, so you can attract, dude, the people that want to go to the top with you. All right,
that's good. That's good. Anthony, my partner, was just talking about that too, about eagles. Eagles, you fly high. You have a bigger vision. You're able to see things. Correct. Everybody will have that expanded vision. So yes, yes.
Right. Nisi, how can people connect with you?
So, where's my Instagram? That's what I'm on a lot. Instagram, Nisi Squire, I believe. I didn't write it down, but Nisi Squire on Instagram, NEICY Squire, SQUIRE. Or shoot, Facebook, I would say Facebook, but Instagram is like probably much the main thing. Yes.
Fantastic. Nisi, I want to say thank you so much for your precious time to jump on and listen that motivates people, dropping bombs left and right. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you so much. Yes, and I've been watching your shorts. You doing it on the shorts, like you just like I can just keep on going and going. But I listen to you on your podcast, so I appreciate everything that you've been doing. How you're trying to elevate other people, how you're trying to encourage and support other people. So it definitely means a whole lot. It definitely does, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, Nisi, thank you so much. I'll see you at the top. Take care, Nisi. Yes. Listen, for those of you, if you're new into the game and you're still struggling trying to get your first wholesale deal, here's a free training that I created just for you. It's a 15-minute video where I break down the steps, the process. I'll show you how to do completely virtual. And earlier, when Nisi was talking about, people said your network is your net worth. And it's not, sometimes it's not who knows you. It's who you know. It's not about who you know, but who know you. When you first started out, nobody's going to know you. You're a nobody. So which means when you go to this network, you got to put yourself out there. You got to shake as many hands as you can, build as many relationships as you can. Let as many people know who you are and what you actually do and what you can provide, the value that you can provide. All right. So when you go to this networking event, you got to network. You got to put your name out there. Let people know who you are, because when you first started, you're nobody. Nobody know who you are. All right. Anyways, so that's the free training. Now, for those of you who say, Khang, I've tried this myself. I've gone at this. I still can't get my first deal. So if that's you, you want to work with me, my team, you're like, hey, Khang, I want to join your academy. Go to coachwithkhang.com. It's a 5-month program. All right. I need a 5-month commitment with you. We're going to train you. We're going to help you build, grow, scale, and automate your wholesaling operations. Whether you want to do 10,000 a month or 100,000 a month, we got you. And we're going to show you how to do it completely virtual, help support 24/7, private Discord, private Facebook group. You get to work alongside with me and my team. Until next time, you guys, the info's there. The choice is yours. Until next time, take care and ciao.